Hi, I'm Mac McCarthy, and I help people with their breakups. And this story is a long story. It just came in, and I haven't even read it yet. Just catching up on a few. But he said, I made it as detailed as possible. And when you write your story, I don't need as detailed as possible. I need to know the story. That doesn't mean I need to know every date and every detail. I'm going to do my best to answer this. But for anyone out there, on writemac.com, I have some basic instructions to help you structure the story and make it clear. It's not about you just going in and writing everything that you're feeling in every detail. It's about being a little bit more clear and simple. Because sometimes we go in all these different directions and it loses some of the juice of what really happened. Okay? So, hey Coach Mac, how are you doing? Well, thank you for asking. Hope all is well today. It's good today. I thank you in advance if you share my story for others and me for some insight. Doing it right now, so you're welcome. I'll try to make this as detail-oriented as possible. Okay, so my girlfriend of 6 long years, why'd you say long years, broke up with me after I had to call her the day before her 27th birthday. I was 30 at the time, now 31, so you're 3 years apart. She had previously ghosted me up until that point for 3 weeks after a petty argument we had gotten into. So you're together 6 years, but she's willing to ghost you, which means no contact, completely ignores you. That says a lot, that you have 6 years in a relationship and she would do that. I wanted to talk to her as I felt things were uneasy, obviously. I just felt something was off, so I texted her, wanted to hear from her. She said she was going to sleep and then changed it to her getting ready to go in the shower. I knew something wasn't right. I was on Snapchat and saw her location, had her 30 miles from her home. I called her. The reason I'm taking a deep breath, it's like you're doing detective work, right? You know something's up, and I called her out online and asked why if she was just out with her best friend. If you don't trust someone, that's a major pillar of your relationship, and it's never going to work. And if you don't trust someone after 6 long years, then you're not going to have a relationship. She was just out with her best friend. It wouldn't be an issue. I'd probably say something like, oh, okay, have fun with your friend. Make sure that you let me know when you get home safely, like we always do, and I think it's awesome she's finally hanging out with her, as I always try to get her to go out and friends more. Something just happened. I was blindsided when she broke up with me via the phone the day before her birthday and was so distant, cold, and rude to me. The last week was nothing, no communication, but during the first 2 weeks of those 3 of you need to get to the point. Avoiding me, she called me on her way home from work after I told her, no, I'll give you what you want, and to have her space, but continued to call me until that final week, telling me I do love you. I hope you know that more than you can imagine. Well, you can still want to break up and love someone at the same time. I learned she was on. People don't realize that. They're not dependent on each other, right? Someone can absolutely still be in love or loving someone that they find that they have to break up due to other circumstances. I learned she was on Tinder, as a current picture of her was her main picture, and she was just meeting up with guys and hooking up with them shortly after. Well, it says that she had been out of the relationship. If she's doing that immediately after a 6-year relationship, then something was lacking in their relationship and she's looking to meet someone new. Something we were not doing for months. Then calling our best friends whose wedding we attended 3 months prior, as I was the best man, boasting about this new guy she met and how amazing their sex was, knowing full well it'd get back to me, but told them to keep it private anyway. She didn't know it would get back to you. That's on her friends. But who are you blaming? The friends? Are you blaming her? If you're broken up, she has a right to sleep with other people, unfortunately for you. She has a right to tell mutual friends, unfortunately for you. I was divested and heartbroken, and then that information just set me over the top. I know where you're coming from. That would not feel good, but then you got to tell your friends, hey, in the future, just don't even tell me, man. What kind of friends are those? They can tell you, but if that's fresh, also, it is fucking clarity. A lot of people tell me, like, they're in a breakup, they're kind of in a fog, and then they find out she's seeing someone else or he's seeing someone else, and they're like, I'm done. I'm not going back. At this point, it's going to hurt. It's going to absolutely hurt. and you're going to deal with that, but you're going to move forward. You're not going to just run back to this person when they're already out on the market immediately. Even during that wedding, she was telling them on their day that she'd never get a ring from me, and I was furious she did that on their wedding day. Well, that sounds like that was one of the issues, that you don't want to marry her. If that was an issue, she should have spoken to me about it and not on their wedding day. Well, women are indirect sometimes, and she probably hinted to you a few times. You've been together 6 years and you didn't pop the question. I'm not saying you should have popped the question, because I've never gotten married. I've never popped the question in my life, so I'm not judging you for that. I'm just saying, if, like you said, if that was an issue for her, she did probably hint a few times. And for her to mention that to her friend while it's her wedding, it's relevant because she's thinking about it at a wedding, right? I'm not defending her. I'm just giving you the other side of this. I thought that was rude to do that on their day. Well, that's your feelings and that's your opinion. I was all set to propose to her already this fall, as I had seen that it was the right time to take the next step, as I knew she wanted to take the next step as well. So you're saying she did want to get married. She did hint to you. You did know this, and you were waiting longer and longer. It's been a whirlwind these past few months. 3 weeks fresh after the breakup, she was checking every Snapchat story I posted when she never looked at my stories when we were together, and even sued the app. I don't know what that means. I learned the guy quickly got rid of her and just wanted sex, and she really liked him a lot because she started posting all kinds of sad things on her Instagram. You don't want to know this. This is stalking. It's social media stalking. You need to cut off all social media contact with her right now. It's not serving you. Does it make you feel good? Is it helping you move on? I mean, people do this all the time, and it's like they're building a case of why their ex broke up with them and why they're moving on and what they're doing. How does that help you move on with your life? How does that help you become a confident, cool individual that's actually capable of possibly meeting someone else in the future when your wounds heal? This just basically what you do is you leave your wounds raw and unattended, and you just keep ripping off the scab every time you look them up on social media and see something you don't like. Which is another thing. She never used social media that much when we were together, but uses it so much now. You're doing a lot of blaming and finger pointing. You need to be accountable for your role in the breakup. This is probably not what you want to hear, but I'm just telling you how this is going. It's her. And you need to be accountable for like what kind of shit you want to accept, rather, I can't believe she's doing this. That's weak. Instead of saying, you know what, I'm sick of this. I'm going to cut off all contact on social media so I don't have to look at it. That's an answer and that's a solution, instead of saying, look what she's doing. Oh my God. Documenting her entire life, as my friends still had tabs on her once she blocked me 3 or 4 weeks after the breakup, as I slowly trickled away. Posting really provocative pictures and quotes, speaking in a highly sexual manner, and my friends were saying this girl just snapped and turned into a totally different person. Tell your friends you don't want to know. Also, it's clarity. You don't want to get back with her. She spoke so bad about me when I wasn't even the one that did the breakup. She did. I can understand if I did it. She was just ruthless about it. She did this. She did that. She did this. Stop. And posted things that hurt me. She hurt me. She hurt me. You're going to have to deal with this. You got to write all this out in a journal. Cut me down physically and emotionally. This is someone you do not want to be with. You need to cut off all ties, and you need to tell your friends you don't want any information on her. 3 years ago, in the summer of 2015, she left me for 2 months for a coworker and blindsided me for the first time. Okay, well, if she did it 3 years ago, it was in her pedigree. People run on patterns. She came back 2 months later. The fact that she cheated, she left you, she came back, she was completely capable of doing it again. Now that it's been 2 times, you're not going back. That would be insanity. I simply tried to move on. When something happened between them, which I never fully knew what it was, she saw how happy I was and the girl I was talking to, nothing more than that, but just being friendly, and she tagged herself at my birthday party and saying how attractive I was looking. I was trying to move on. She saw this and waited by my house until I got home, wanted to talk, and said she never meant all this mean things. She said she forgave each other. We forgave each other, and that she'd never break up with me over the phone or like that again, and always try to work things out, blah, blah, blah. So fast forward to now 4 months later. Currently, I see she's been with a guy for a few months. What do you want? What do you want to do? I'm not blocked on Facebook. Who cares? You should be blocking her. The only one I'm not blocked on, just not friends. It's pathetic, to be honest. So you need to block her after this kind of behavior. I can't see any activity she does unless she updates her profile picture that's public, which has been months, and anything we previously once did when we tagged each other and our history. But this weekend she went to a theme park. You're stalking her. And all these things that you're doing, it's like a soft stalk. You're trying to make sense of it. And then he writes, I posted a gallery of pictures of a new guy that she made public, something I found odd. That's your opinion. It was like she deliberately made me jealous and to reveal to this guy she's been with for about 2 months. This is just a story you're telling yourself. You could change the story and reshape it to, I'm moving on, I've been cheated on once before, she's left me twice, I'm not going to put up with this shit. That's how you need to reframe that. I'm a strong, confident individual that's moving forward, and I don't need to take this any longer. We had 6 long years. We got back together once before, and now I'm moving on because I got my clarity. It's going to hurt, but I'm going to deal with it. And writing this story is a great first step. You may think I'm being hard on you. I'm just being real. She still has her best friend, who I wasn't even a big fan of, checking my Facebook statuses and reporting back to her. Block her, because my friends told her that that's what we had her do. I once wrote something like, I'm turning 31 years old soon. I've yet to travel the world still. I've yet to get married or fall in love, but I'm thankful I still have time to achieve these things. Great post. Well, I guess I got a text from her, the only communications I've had from her since the breakup, which is, this happened in June. She texted me, oh, so you never experienced what falling in love was? Extremely immature. Gee, I'm so glad I wasted 6 years with you. Then you fucking dig. Well, you know what? That's an immature statement for someone that's 27 years old and was with you for 6 years. She's reaching, and you need to be the bigger person and just move on. I just don't get how we got to this point. She's a cheater. She was a cheater before. She wants to see other people. That's why she was on Tinder within 2 or 3 days. She immediately seeing other people. I love this girl with all my heart, and I'm shocked how she handled this breakup, as she admitted 3 years ago everything was a mistake. 3 years ago isn't now. Who she was and what she said 3 years ago doesn't count. People change, times change, and actually, really, her behavior didn't change, because when she broke up this time, she did the same thing. If you're with someone for 6 years and you immediately start seeing someone and going on Tinder within a few days, do you want to be with someone like that? Do you want to rekindle it? I'm not saying it doesn't hurt, but you knew her character 3 years ago. These past 4 months, I've done nothing but work on myself. Fucking outstanding. The best part of this story yet. I've been dating other girls, trying to feel good again, but that post she posted, understand with Facebook and social media, you have some power. Block them, or just get off Facebook altogether. Stop. People act like they have a Facebook gun to their head, that they have to view this material. I've told people before, if you're on a diet, you don't want ice cream in the fridge. If you're on a breakup, you don't want availability to her friend's Facebook or her Facebook or vice versa, because you're keeping tabs on other people and you don't know the real story. You're just reading pictures and small quotes. As I check her Facebook from time to time, stop. I know I won't see anything new, but this time I did something and it just pissed me off. Well, then stop doing it. My friends have told me she treated me like crap and was probably meeting dudes before. You don't know that. Probably you don't know that before the breakup as to why she maybe was out the one night that it started all. You don't know the answer to that story, and only she does. As she found out on Tinder before we have been officially broken up, I learned. How did that make you feel? Does that make you feel like you'd like to move on at some point? Do I even want to hold out hope? You want to get back with this individual? Can it even be fixed like the last time, or wait for this new guy to come and go? Do you really want to fix a relationship this way? Or do I continue dating this girl I've met 2 months ago, who literally has all the same hobbies and interests in me, and we have some of the best nights I've had in a long time, or ever for that matter, when I'm with her? Sounds like an easy answer to me. Yeah, I would give this girl some of your time right now and pursue this. My friends all like her, but I just felt like I was going to marry the other girl I had so much history with. Well, you're lucky you didn't marry her. it sounds like. Do I even want to even rekindle things with her at this point? If they even should come back? No, 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 no. I've never done this strong before. But in a lot of letters, I'm really neutral about things. This is ridiculous that you would even consider getting back with someone like this. I hear she does everything with, quit hearing and listening in. This is third person information. It's not serving you. You're guessing. I hear she does everything with her new guy that she never did for me those 6 years we were together. How does that make you feel? Bad? Then stop trying to listen on what's going on. Whether it's sexually or just out of the biggest problem we had was our lack of intimacy. That's obvious because that's what she's bragging about to everyone. So that was an issue. That was an issue for a long time, and it's not going away. So I would say that you're not going to fix that right away, and she's looking to fix that with other guys. Was our lack of intimacy as she stopped sleeping with me for months, denying my advances for sexual activity after dates and shrugging me off after making excuses, but at the same time wanted to get married and spoke about kids. It just means she's not attracted to you. She probably trusted you and had a connection, but she wasn't attracted to you, and that's not going to last in a long-term relationship. Do I just write this girl off as she is Jekyll and Hyde at times? Do I want a girl like this in my life again? What do you think? Answer that question yourself. If this was me, hell no. And I'm never that strong about things. And the fact that you've been seeing a woman for 2 months should be your parachute right there, man. What's the question? Just because a lot of people, I had 6 years with this person. You had good times and bad times. And now you should be thanking your lucky stars that you didn't marry an individual like this. And every time she does something shitty or bad or goes on your social media and makes a comment like that, it's just more and more and more and more layers and layers of clarity on why you shouldn't be with an individual like that. So move on. I'll send you a PDF. If you're having a lot of trouble with this, book a live coaching session with myself. Get all your shit out, right? And then we'll talk about building a compelling future for you. I talk about this in my videos all the time. Look at what you want to do moving forward with your life that's outside of this relationship and outside of this ex. And once you do that, you start getting really clear. And it's still going to hurt. It's still going to take some time. It's like when you break your ankle. The doctor says stay off your ankle for 6 weeks or stay off your ankle for 2 months. Then you got this part. You got rehab. You got that. It takes time. It's the same thing in a breakup. Okay? So congrats on meeting this new woman that has all the same hobbies. Continue on with that. Give yourself some time to strengthen that relationship. Cut off all social media with this ex and her friends. Stop asking your friends for details about her and tell them, you know what, I'm moving forward. All right? I hope that helps you. Please visit writemac.com if you've got a breakup story to tell. Otherwise, thank you for supporting the channel.